Today you'll learn how to make websites as fast as possible. Alright, so the first thing you gotta do is get a text editor for code. Right now I'm using Brackets, which is an open source text editor by Adobe. And the great thing about text editors is that you can make it autocomplete your code. So if I want to get a new tag here, you can see what it does is it completes it for you. That's wonderful. Okay, so we're going to start by writing HTML. That's the content of a page, and it's comprised of a thing called tags, which have a structure a bit like a burger. So you have a piece of bread, the main bit, and then another piece of bread. HTML is an opening tag, a closing tag, and a bunch of stuff in the middle. Most of the time, this stuff will be actually a small bunch of smaller burgers, so imagine it like that. Okay, so here's a HTML tag. This is an anchor tag, which is for links. So you can see there's an opening tag, a closing tag, and a bunch of stuff in the middle, like I said. And here you can see there's a little attribute. So this is how you specify attributes, with the attribute name and then equals and what you want to specify the attribute to. In this case, we're specifying the link that this anchor tag will link to. So if you click on this link on the page, it will link to the link provided in the href attribute, if that makes sense. Alright, so here are a couple HTML tags. I'm not going to run through all of them, but here they are on the screen. There's a paragraph tag, header tags, divider tags, and link tags. Anchor tags, meta tags, which are tags about the document, head tags, body tags, and image tags. Alright, so this is a website I just mocked up. It's for a blog type thing. So you can see there's a head tag there with a title tag. This is basically what shows up at the top of a browser at the tab space. I've got a div here. This lets me keep all of this and will be very helpful in CSS later when that happens. And here you can see I've got a head 1 tag, a header 2 tag, and a header 3 tag, as well as some paragraph tags. So that's fantastic. And I've also got a HR tag that stands for horizontal rule and will create a line. So when I get my browser up and show you this page, you can see all of this in action. Alright, so this is the page I created. You can see there's a HR there. You see this long rule here. There's the biggest header tag, a H1 tag, a second biggest header tag, a H2 tag, and a bunch of H3 tags, as well as some paragraph tags. And up here you can see there's some text. This is the title tag that was in the head tag that you saw earlier. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Right now it's pretty ugly, and if I had a big here, I'm going to show you what it looks like on a phone, for example, an Apple iPhone X. And maybe if I had it on a really big screen like this size, you can see text stretches all the way across the screen, and that's really ugly. We don't want that. It's really hard to read, and so let's change that soon. Okay, so now I'm going to explain CSS. So CSS is the style of your page, so that's how it looks, and it's comprised of things called selectors and properties. So selectors, as the name suggests, select what you want to apply styles to. For example, to select all the paragraph tags, you can use the selector P. And properties describe how you want the elements to be selected with the selectors to be styled. For example, to change the text size, use the font size property. And now let's put this all together and style the HTML page we did earlier. So now I'm going to start building the CSS. So first thing I got to do is add a link tag. So what I'm doing here is I'm specifying where the CSS file is. So you can see here href, this means where it is style.css, and it's a style sheet, so it's a CSS sheet. So let's jump to that style.css file. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is get the main bulk div. There's a div that's called main bulk, so I can work with that. Because it says ID equals main bulk, I can take the main bulk ID and use it as a selector. So I'm using my hashtag to say find anything where the ID is main bulk, and then I can work with that. So let's set a max width so it doesn't stretch all the way across the screen like you saw in the previous clip. So 1000 pixels. Let's see how this works. So if I stretch the screen, there's a certain point where it just stops oops, sorry, where it just stops. Stop. You can see here. Look there. This space here. There's nothing there. So that means it's reached 1,000 pixels. And if I, for example, make it smaller, you can see that it stops expanding, which is pretty cool. So, but it's not centered yet. So let me make that happen. So I'm gonna add this one line of code that should fix it. Alright, now let's try that again. If I stretch it too far, or like if I make it smaller, for example, you can see, yeah, it centers itself. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Okay. Let me collapse it again. Alright, so I'm gonna add body means this looking for a body tag. So I'm gonna set this to a light gray. Yeah, that looks like a good color. See that? I feel like that's a bit too dark, so I'm gonna go for this. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice and great. Alright, so now I also want to change the color to, let's make it a dark gray. Like, no, that's not dark at all. Or I can specify color myself. See, this is RGBA, so RGB. Do you know what that stands for? It stands for red, green, and blue. And the A stands for alpha. So if I set the alpha to 0, then it'll be completely transparent. And if I set it to 1, then it'll be completely opaque. So I want it to be completely transparent. Completely visible, of course. So I'm going to set the color to, say, what? 10? 10's a pretty good number, I guess. Let's see how that looks. Can't really tell the difference. I said it's 50. By the way, the color tag gives you the color of the text and not the color of anything else. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then let me make it so that all of the title, which is the H1 tag, is a darker color. Is black. Just straight up black. Gosh, so many typos. There we go. Now that looks actually not that terrible. But obviously this could be a much better website. But this is the very, very basics of HTML and CSS. So here's our page. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. And make sure to check out more of my videos in the future. And there's an accompanying blog post, which if you want to get more details on this website, you can check out in the link below. And